What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's going on with the overall market, what you should be watching for moving forward. I'm also going to talk about how the market's looking right now and some very important informations that are developing on SPY. And how all of this could affect the whole market as we see some interesting technicals. But before I do anything like this, let me just mention a couple of things. I'm firstly not a financial planner, so make sure you take none of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed up to 12 free stocks. Now, for instance, very soon, it ends in just about 5 days, so check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at SPY, we actually saw SPY retest or come very close to testing this. We actually broke this imbalance right over here and came close to this high right about here off the open. We were expecting a very bullish move after CPI came out, and we got the very bullish move initially, right? Because once again, the numbers were as expected or lower than expected on almost every single metric, and we got a high initial jobless claims, which is quite decent so far, all telling us that there's contraction in the economy. Inflation is still, according to the data, at least cooling off. Now, with all this decent news, the market started pumping very, very nicely. We got this monstrous pump on SPY to start us off. The SPY came all the way up to our target. I was talking about how 450 would likely be on the table. If we broke that, then I'd be watching around 452. Came just short of it around 451.7, but still very, very nice pump. But then after that happened, right, we wouldn't be anticipating the market to just start tanking the way it did. Instead, what I would have anticipated was the market come down a little bit. Obviously, it has to do that. That's just natural. And then when we'd be watching this previous, resistance becoming support and trying to see a bounce around here in the market hold up, that's what most of us were expecting, because that's what typically happens when we have very strong CPI numbers and the market pumps on high volume. The market's very excited, but instead they did something different. They had a plan, and that was designed to trick as many retail investors as possible, as many other institutions and entities as possible too. At least they're somewhat involved. They basically pumped the market hard, got everyone excited, and this is what typically should happen. When a lot of people turn bullish, they smack the market back down, and we saw this big drop forming in the stock market. We saw the market come right back down, and it was much bigger than what we were expecting. But one thing I want to note is that this happened many times in a row. Like yesterday, we got this big drop before forming an inverse head and shoulders for a big reversal. And then we saw something similar happen on Wednesday, Tuesday as well, where the market dropped, formed an inverse head and shoulders, and got a bounce. So are we going to follow this trend and get a bounce? Well, the thing is, we're forming a falling wedge right now. This could lead to a very, very bullish breakout once we do see the breakout. We're still waiting for that to form. And if anything, I just want to note that the RSI is starting to form a base down here. We're starting to see a divergence that is forming. Actually, it's not really forming right here on the 5-minute, but I think on the larger time frames you could see it. It's still in the process of forming, so we're still waiting to see this balance, which should come eventually. But I just want to note that in this market, okay, there's going to be different strategies that work and other ones which are not going to be as helpful. It's very difficult to just hold options through all of this. That's going to be very tricky. What happened was, this would be a better market for scalpers. That's what I tend to do almost every single day, at least most days when I see opportunities. I just want to note that scalping would have been a really, really good strategy in a market like this. You just enter calls, get your top in. Once the market shows weakness, you can secure profits. Once there's a reversal, you can start shorting the market and then ride it all the way down. You could have done that as well. Those could have been some good strategies. And in a market like this, you have to be very, very fast. Okay. They know that we are onto their games. We know that, these institutions know that we could read. The market makers know we could read the charts, and they're going to do whatever they can to try to trick us, get us to lose our money. The market makers are out for blood. I want to make that as clear as possible. They tricked a lot of people on this. People who were thinking that, the market was going to drop. They start buying up here and they just dumped it just to screw with those people and make money off of them. Market is still downtrending, but we're going to be watching to see if a bounce could come. Should come very soon. We're just going to be watching this falling wedge that is still developing right here on SPY. Okay, so I want to make that as clear as possible. Anticipating a bounce later on. But there's manipulation in this market. Unexpected things could happen, and we have to expect the unexpected now, because they're doing whatever they can to mess with us, the retail investor, believe it or not. So now, what about Tesla? I was telling you Tesla's going to hit 250 at least, right? That was my target on Tesla, if not 252. We came just short of 252, but we did technically break above 250. We got the pump in the morning. Then they rug pulled the whole market. Tesla came all the way down to our support around this 244 area. Now it's currently sitting around 245, testing that resistance. It still isn't looking that strong just yet, but there could be reversal coming a little bit later on for the day to get back to this like 248 plus area, if not even 250. But it's going to take a little time. It is holding up nicely, though it's still up 1%. So we're going to be watching these levels carefully. There is just a lot of manipulation in this market that's affecting many different stocks out there market wide. If you look at Apple, the same pattern, nice pump to 181. That was what we were talking about in the morning. Then we came right back down. We're also forming like a falling wedge on it. We're going to be watching Apple to see a breakout a little bit later. It's been dropping pretty hard. It's also forming a nice bullish divergence. So we're going to be looking to see if this ends up playing out. Watch this like 179.5 level, which could get retested. For the triple Q, it's the same thing. Nice pump into the open. Our target was around 375. It came just short. So it seems like, all of these stocks came just short of resistance. It's almost as if they're just trying to either, stop people from being able to meet their targets, trick a lot of people. Then the market started coming down. As we got this reversal signal, well, this could have been your opportunity to exit anyways, even if it didn't truly reach your full-on target, because sometimes that's okay to do to be as safe as possible. We got this big reversal. We're also forming this falling wedge on the triple Q. We're going to be looking for this thing to bounce very, very soon to at least 370 plus, very, very soon. For Nvda, very, very nice pump to 435.7, so very close to 436, the resistance we were talking about. So I have it drawn like right here. This resistance right here was what we were talking about in the morning, then potentially 440. We didn't hold above 430 though. I said we had to hold above this for us to remain bullish. We ended up breaking down, so now we're a little weak, coming back down to this 420 area, kind of red. But we're going to be watching to see if Nvidia could get a bounce with the markets. I think it's going to chop around for a little bit, but there could be one last attempt to do so later on. Finally, when we look at the other stocks out there, if you look at like Amazon, same thing on Meta and Amazon, nice pump to 312. We were talking about 312 on Meta, came right back down. However, not what I was expecting. I did not expect the market to dump this hard, but it's also forming this falling wedge. So there should be a bounce coming soon. Amazon as well, same thing. It came to about 140.5, so a little short of my 141 target, but we still are forming once again this nice falling wedge. Going to be looking for a bounce relatively soon. It's looking kind of weak right now, though, so we'll have to see on that. And the last thing I just wanted to say, guys, is when it comes to the market, it's still downtrending. We're still waiting to see if this wedge could get that breakout. Let's just look at this on TradingView, so it's a little easier to see. Still waiting for it. But let me just add one more thing. Tomorrow, we have the PPI report coming out. That's going to be very important. I think I have it right. Where is it? I think it's right here. The PPI is going to be coming out. That is the producer price index. It's just like the CPI, except it's for the producer side. So expect crazy volatility tomorrow. It's going to be mad. So be careful with holding options overnight, just like how you did for CPI. There was no telling what was going to happen. And given the way that the options move, even if you're holding calls overnight and the market does like pump a little bit, there's no guarantee that they're going to like play out perfectly or even be green at open, because this market is once again going to be shifting in different directions, implied volatility shifting as well, if you look at the way the VIX is moving. So it's very important to just be very careful with holding anything overnight. If I do hold anything overnight, it's going to be very minimal. And I'm finding that the strategy that's working for me is scalping, right? Getting in, getting out fast. It's like, for instance, you could have just got in quickly, watched the market run, taking your profits up here. That's what I did. I actually did not short the market up here. I actually ended up leaving the screens. The market ended up dropping like this. I returned to see it like this, which is pretty crazy. And then as the market's in this falling wedge, right, I'm going to be looking for another longing opportunity as a possibility, but I'm going to have a very tight stop, and I'm not going to trade with too much money for the remainder of the day because I already have a lot of profit from the morning. Just want to make it clear, those are some interesting strategies you could use. And with that said, thank you all so much for listening. Watch this falling wedge, watch for your support levels, and do what you have to do in this market. It is a wild market designed to, cause retail to lose. It's tricky. It's, difficult. But despite those difficulties, we still can make it. We could still succeed in a market like this. I just told you a strategy that works for me. Maybe you could find your own. And with that said, have a great day, everyone. Remain calm, cool, and collected, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Market to the moon as long term is still very bright, and peace out.